This turned out to be too easy of a fix. This is a exhaust gas charcoal canister. This is actually on a Suzuki Samurai, but if you ever have to, you can see here's the part number if you want to read that. Maybe not correct for yours, but because this is actually a Jimny 1300. But if you ever have to replace this part from the dealer, it's expensive. I forget what it is. It's a few $100. But I was just curious, if you could take it apart or something. So I was trying to get this apart, and I couldn't get it apart, and I didn't want to try to break it. I thought maybe, I said, let me try something. So I put this down here. I took WD-40, and I did this before, but I sprayed this a whole bunch of it down in these holes, and it's been sitting in there for several days. Now before, the way to check these, if you try to blow air through here, you're supposed to feel air coming out of here. And you know what? It works. It actually goes out of the top part now. That's out of the bottom, and now if I hold it down over that part, coming out of the top. It's actually coming out of here. It comes out the bottom, and you blow through here. And if you block off the bottom like I was holding it against the cardboard, it comes out the top. It wasn't doing that. It was clogged up. Well, it's not actually clogged up. You see, I don't think anything actually breaks down with the charcoal canister. What happens is there's a valve, and what I assume is, how gas in the gas tank, you can have a little bit of, if your gas isn't full or whatever, there's a little bit of moisture. Well, this line that goes back to the gas tank is on the top part of the gas tank. That's where the air is. So if you have some water vapor in there, basically humidity or whatever, just like, the same principle like in winter driving when you have a gas tank near E, it can get a lot of water in there from condensation. If you have some condensation in the gas tank, it's going to go up into this line. Now, over a period of years, it's going to cause some corrosion, and I bet there's a valve in there. There's some kind of check valve. So I tried this before, but I let it sit for several days, filled up with WD-40. And when I used to air it, pushed open the valve, and so now it's okay. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So I figured that's a good tip. I've never seen that freaking tip out there ever. And too much common sense. Too much common sense. I don't know if that's guaranteed to work, but I'll bet you that's usually what goes wrong with these. Figure it out. A little logic. Like this line is going to the gas tank, to the return line, picking up any fumes and vapors. And it's the top part of the tank where the air is, so it gets water vapor. So what happens? Water vapor has a little bit, air has a little bit of condensation in it, correct? From humidity. So, these are corrosion resistant parts, but after a while you might get a little bit of corrosion in there. And guess what? That's what caused the valve to jam up. WD-40 opened it up. I tried this a few times, but it finally worked. It finally worked. So that's a good tip. So I think these are about $300. So even used, if you could find them, they're like 150 or something. So why do that, right? A little bit of WD-40, and it seems to be fine. The way to check these again is if you blow air through it, you should feel air coming out of here or the bottom. If you close up the bottom, you'll see it go through here. This was totally not working. It wasn't clogged. It was actually the valve was stuck inside. So the WD-40 opened it up. But it took several days to do that, and several tries.